We have the regrassing of the golf course has been completed, and if you've played on it, you know how great it is. Pretty soon we'll have a brand new fitness center, and now we're moving into looking at the future. And Pat Karpen, Vice President of the Board of Governors and Chair of the Strategic Planning Committee, has been working very hard with our consultants all summer, and we are here to kick off this very, very exciting time. I urge you, please complete the survey, complete it honestly. Eagle Creek is our home, every one of us, so we need your feedback to see where we want to be in the future. Thank you. Pat?
Am I hooked up?
Yes, you are.
Sounds like it. All right, thanks Corinne, and thanks everybody for coming, and welcome fellow Creekers. Today's topic, and our only topic, is going to be long-range planning for Eagle Creek. And when I say Eagle Creek, even though the sponsoring group for this is the club, I'm really referring to everything at Eagle Creek. Everything inside the walls, around the outside, the road outside, anything that touches Eagle Creek is up for grabs in terms of what do we want to do about it. Today's agenda, I hope to answer 3 questions for you today. If we haven't done that by the time we leave, I guess we'll have a little Q&A. Why are you here? Where are we going? And how are we going to get there? And at the end of that, we're also going to have Laura, your own Laura from marketing, is going to present a section that I call Eagle Creek versus the world. And this is a comparison of what one group considers to be our peers in the club industry in Naples. We've got 4 presenters today, 3 after me, including Jack Sullivan, who I'll introduce in a few minutes. He's a consultant, expert in well, hospitality in general, but also specifically with respect to country club communities, and certainly private clubs as well. Jerry Schoenfeld, not to be confused with that other guy you all know. Jerry is professor at Florida Gulf Coast University. He's going to be conducting our survey, which is really what we're leading up to today. We're going to be giving you a lot of info, but at the end of the day, we're going to ask you to fill out a survey. More interested in the results of this survey than we've ever been in recent years. And of course, as mentioned, Laura's going to spend a little time with us as well. So why are we here? Well, just some background on this process. It started with last year's strategic planning group. As you probably know, the sort of club's fiscal year is different from the management by the board. The board terms start in March. And last year's strategic planning committee had a couple of recommendations that came through in February, and they basically were acted on by the board beginning this year in March. One of the recommendations was that, well, we all think we're pretty smart people at the club, and particularly those that are on the board think they're pretty smart. We're not experts in the country club business. You know, maybe we've been members of 2, 3, 4 clubs during our lifetime, but we're not experts. And with everything going on around us at Eagle Creek, expanded roads, a multitude of new developments going up, other developments that were somewhat dormant over the last few years, they kicked into high gear. A lot of commercial development. The question that kept coming up was, should we be doing anything, either to enhance our position or maybe protect our investment? And so what the decision was made at the March meeting, let's hire a consultant, someone who knows what he's doing. So there we are. Let's hire the right consultant. Now, Bill Humanek, who was my predecessor in this role last year, started the process of finding the right consultant. He talked to our auditors at McGladrey, which is exactly where I would have started. They came up with 5 names, in the basically experts in the country club business. Bill managed, for a variety of reasons, and he shared his files with me, eliminated 2 of those 5. Eventually, we got it down to 2, and then it became a situation where we had both contestants come in, interview with the officers of the club, as well as Don Madalinsky. And after a rigorous and grueling process, we selected unanimously Jack Sullivan, again, who I'll present to you in a few minutes. We also, on a parallel universe to while that was going on, we did form the current year Strategic Planning Committee. Voluntary, but we couldn't accept all the volunteers that wanted to participate because you get too many in a committee and it's a little unwieldy. The committee members are going to be presented to you as we speak. And these guys have been busy helping me throughout the summer months. I do want to point out, Ron's not here. Ron's also the president of the Eagle Creek Community Association. So while this is again a club-sponsored activity, Ron's been aware of the fact that we're putting together this survey, and I put together a survey which is covering the whole gamut of everything that's touching Eagle Creek. The first assignment for the Strategic Planning Committee was for them to individually come up with what they thought of as their 10-year vision for Eagle Creek. What do they expect this place to look like in 10 years? I received that information. I also received a lot of input unsolicited from many members who heard that I was undertaking this assignment. Then we also, after I put together a sort of a compendium of what had come in to me at that point, shared it with Don, and I believe Don shared it with his senior staff to get some more ideas. What should we be thinking about? And we ended up with a document that was never released to the public because it was only a tool. I released that to Jerry Schoenfeld to help him put together the first survey. When we get to the survey, which is going to be released most likely tomorrow, so we're not going to have that today. And these guys are going to talk a little bit more about that. But went through several iterations of this survey to get it to where we want it today, and a ton of people had input. Thereafter, we shared it with the board in August, looking for just, give me some more big ideas that we should address. I don't want fly-spec editing at that point, and they complied. Ron participated with Jack Sullivan on one of the days that Jack was with us, just so Ron Recker representing the association, just so he was aware of what we were talking about and could provide his input as well. At that point, Bill Owen, who's on both boards, I don't know why Bill wants to torture himself, I know he's here, but there he is.
Wounded, but alive.
Okay. They're taking morphine or something as we are going through this. Bill suggested that, well, gee, you know, as long as you're looking for input on the survey, I got a great idea, which was to ask everybody to Eagle Creek if they wanted to provide input to the survey. So thanks to Bill, I heard from many of you, because he did say directly your comments to Pat Karpen. Thank you, Bill. But actually, we had a lot of good input. I was a little surprised how many more things came in when it went to the general membership for comment. Now, it was a little confusing. This went out in September. Hopefully you all remember that. Some people thought, well, where's the survey? But the survey is coming. We've been working on it throughout the summer. So we've got a survey that has had a ton of input. And that leads to this comment, grassroots development. Oops. Is it still on? Not on? How about if I talk loudly? Can you hear me? This one work?
Yeah.
This one's okay. All right, good. Any action steps, and that's going to be the
No.
closer to
Talk into it.
Talk right into it? Just better, okay. I'm gonna be, I hope there's no germs on this.
Thanks.
Yeah, the last one user was Corinne's. So. All right, I'll know the source to start. Let's see, any action steps will have come from the majority of you all saying, we need to look at this. A lot of the questions in the survey are very pointed. Hopefully no one takes offense at any of it. But it's intended to put things on the table that might need discussion. And again, not all of this is going to involve the club. But it is going to percolate from you. There wasn't somebody sitting in the back room with me having a couple of glasses of wine thinking up this stuff. If there is any project undertaken that costs money, it's going to be more developed and brought to you well in advance. This is a 10-year survey or a process that we're starting, and there might be some things 1 to 3 years, but most of them are going to be later than that. And again, I'll let Jack get into the details on that. I think I may have skipped something, but what I do want to mention is we're not here to ask you for money today. We're not here to talk about operations today. Don Madalinsky's in the room somewhere. If you have an operational issue, talk to Don, not me. We're not here for Crystal Lake's update, Crystal Lake update. Everybody got a detailed memo, I think Thursday or Friday, so I appreciate Dave sending that out before today. And what are we here for? We need your input. We're here to provide information to you and then request that you listen to the rest of our speakers and complete the survey. Tell your friends and friends and neighbors. Please complete the survey. We want as many people to provide input as possible. Okay. I think we may have. Can we go back a couple slides? Oh, okay. We're at the point where I turn things over to Jack. Jack is, if you saw him up, when you see him come up here, Jack looks very young. But I can assure you, he's not. Jack's had a lot of years, 40 years of experience in the hospitality industry, including a stint up in my neck of the woods up in Michigan. He was at a yacht club there as the general manager for 13 years, or something like that. Is that right? Close enough. So Jack has been very helpful during this process to date. He is now located in Southwest Florida, which is one of the reasons that we selected him as our guy. So with that, please provide an Eagle Creek welcome to Jack Sullivan.